monthly payments on your mortgage are going up. You're like, wait, what? Like, I'm doing my job, making sure my credit score is good. I know, I get it. You're being punished for doing the right thing. I understand. We're about to talk about it right now. And for people whose credit score is below 680, you're in luck. You're in luck. There's some opportunities coming your way, but we're gonna explain all of that on this episode. So no sleep. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so there's a lot of news that's been going around related to mortgages and higher monthly payments. And what Rel said is not backwards. He said it exactly right. So we're about to share the screen with you guys and drop all the links in the description below so you can follow along. But let's just jump right into it, right? So Biden raises cost from homeowners with good credit to help risky borrowers. The reason why you kind of have to read that slowly is because, wait, what? It doesn't really make sense. But these two articles that we're about to share provide a lot of different information. So we want to just break it down. So it literally says homeowners with good credit scores will soon be facing higher mortgage fees as the Biden administration seeks to close the racial ownership gap for homes and get more first-time and low-income borrowers through the door, right? So it's like, wait, what? How does this really make sense? So basically, what's been happening is this is directly quoted. So it says, in the short term, this may increase home ownership among the targeted group, which is minority, because usually, right, minority owners or people who are just minorities don't have the best credit score. So that's what they're basically saying. That's the targeted group. But I'm afraid it could decrease home ownership among the middle class. So, Rel, we always speak on this, right? Like, there's the rich, there's the wealthy, correct? And then there's like, I don't like saying the word, but there's like lower class / poor people, and then the middle class. What do we always say about middle class, bro?
Yeah, they get the bad end of the stick all the time.
Exactly. They're the ones who always end up getting screwed. And basically, this whole thing is because now, it's right here, homeowners with good credit scores could see their monthly mortgage payments rise by more than $60 a month. So this article says $60 a month. The other article we show you later will say $40 a month. But it says while risky borrowers will get a more favorable mortgage terms because their fees were reduced. It doesn't quite make sense, but essentially it's exactly what it sounds like. So if you have a good credit score, you've been making your payments on time your whole life, right? And you made a down payment on a home. You did what you're supposed to do. Now they're saying that the government is going to basically, because you're able to afford to do this because your credit score indicates that you are, they will be increasing your monthly payment, while people who don't have a credit score don't actually make their down payment on a home they're trying to buy, or either don't own a home, will be paying less per month and get more favorable rates. So how does that sound to you, bro?
It's tough, man. It's tough because I see what they're getting at, but to me personally, I think it's going to be ineffective. I think it's actually unnecessary, and there's other things that they may be able to do besides take that route, to be honest, to get to the same goal. And it's funny that, they mentioned the FHA. When it comes to FHA loans, if you know the origin of FHA loans, they weren't even allowed to be given to Black people in America when they first came out in the 1900s. So it's like all of a sudden now we trying to make things so fair, but it's like the damage has already been done, and this method of getting things back normalized is going to be ineffective. Honestly, it's just going to be annoying for everybody. That's how I feel. We have to see how it play out, but that's how I feel so far.
Yeah, and I'm gonna hold off on exactly how I feel right now. But yeah, it's like the whole reason right here that they're really going off of is statistics. So it says the average credit score in white communities was 727, right, in 2021, compared with 667 in Hispanic communities and 627. So just keep this in mind. At the other article that we're about to share with you guys says if you're hovering around 680, that's when you qualify for this whole, I don't even know if I want to say the word qualify, but that's when you have to pay a higher payment. I don't know if you want to qualify for that. And yes, like $60 a month, which equates to about what, $720, Rel, a year, right? If my math is right on that, 720. And if like what, $40 a month is what, around 500, so 480, it might not mean like a lot, but it sounds like you're kind of getting slapped in the face if you did the right thing. And you've been doing the right thing, even though that's not up to us Us meaning people who can afford that. I'm not saying I can or cannot. I'm just saying people who can afford to make payments, have been doing the right thing. It's like, bro, we shouldn't be using our money to subsidize people who can't afford homes. It should be the government stepping in. It shouldn't be the individual, right?
And even with that, bro, you talk about like affordability, bro. Just because you have a higher credit score doesn't mean that you automatically have a higher income and could afford that annoying fee that they're putting on top of your mortgage. You gotta have a high credit score with a slightly lower income, honestly. It's just about your responsibility behind the debt that you have.
Yep. And I'm so glad you said that, right? Because guys, like, think about this. So in this article, I mean, I'm not going to go read the whole thing, but there's a couple of things I want to actually point out. So let me just find you guys a DTI. So it was actually pretty cool right here. So DTI is debt to income ratio, right? It's not okay. So it says the timing of the upcoming changes is also not ideal given the spring buying season and the low inventory, right? But the NBA is more concerned about another mortgage change. The addition of this loan with the debt to income ratio greater than 40% is going to cause a lot of stress. Because if you think about it, what Rel just said is just because you have a low credit score doesn't mean you have low income. And just because you have a high credit score doesn't mean you have high income. But if you are now getting lower interest rates, and we don't even know how much lower or exactly what it's going to look like, but just because you're getting now a lower interest rate because your credit score is lower, you're technically getting a home that you most likely shouldn't be able to afford because your credit score is low and you can't afford to make that monthly payment. So now you're getting more debt on your head. And assuming that you have a low income, now your whole debt to income is messed up. So does that really make sense? Or is the government really trying to help people? Or are they just saying that, oh yeah, we think this is going to work? In my opinion, I think it's stupid. It's downright dumb. You're giving people the opportunity to say, yeah, you're helping them. But bro, are you really helping them? There's other ways to probably go around this. You didn't have to increase payments for other people. That doesn't help at all. You could have just given something else, like a different program. And you could have just said, well, if you have a low credit score, there's other programs that we'll be creating on top of the FHA or veterans loan or other types of programs that you have to now increase the chances of you getting a home, rather than slapping people and punishing those who have a good credit score. So that whole piece doesn't make sense to me. And the reason why I want to share this article with you guys is it's basically talking about the same exact stuff. The only difference here is this says $40 a month. And mind you, this goes into effect on May 1st. So we're not the only ones that say this is not making sense. There's a lot of news going around this right now, but other people are saying this doesn't really make sense. You're penalizing borrowers with larger down payments and credit scores will not go well, like, in time, and I don't think it will.
Yeah, and even as I'm seeing there, it says experts believe that borrowers with a credit score of 680 would pay around 40 more per month on a $400,000 mortgage under rules from the FHA. From the Federal Housing Finance Agency that go into effect May 1st. So it seems that this is for people with a $400,000 mortgage or above.
It's around that area, yeah. But just once again, I'm trying to say, like, is that really fair? Because I'm assuming here, if you have a low credit score, that obviously means that you're not able to either make your payments on time or you had some trouble with your credit in the past and you're trying to make it better. But bro, you probably shouldn't be buying a home like this in the first place if your credit score is low, but now they're going to give you opportunity to do that, and that's going to mess up your debt to income. Then that's going to lead to a whole downfall of you not being able to afford the payments. And how do we even know this is going to last when the next president comes over? We don't know if Biden's going to be president or not. Not to go into politics, but it's a rule, right? Like, he is taking and passing a law or a rule. How do we know this is going to last?
Yeah, what happens after this though, right? So let's say they start defaulting on their payments, and that just leaves into big money being able to swipe up those homes, getting it under their pocket, and then guess what? Everybody becomes renters, right? And that's really what's been happening. We've been seeing the big money buying these these single family homes cash. I've been there, right? So if we get those homes under the floor, that's just even more incentives for them to come in, swoop those homes up, and just get more homes out of their belt and just enter this what we would call like a renter's America, honestly.
And bro, just once again, we're picking key things from this article to summarize it, but we really want you guys to read it. But look, the rules come as the housing market has struggled in the wake of multiple interest rate hikes. And we're probably going to see another interest rate hike, but that's a different story, right? So it says under the new rules, consumers with low credit ratings and less money for a down payment would qualify for better mortgage rates than they otherwise would have. So it's like, bro, I'm telling you, like, it's like when you talk to a girl and she's basically telling you, yeah, I've cheated before. Yeah, I have a tendency to like not really cuff people. And I have tendencies where it's like, yo, I don't know if I'm really trustworthy like that. That's the type of girl I want. Like, what? That makes no sense. She's really telling you what she is. And now you want to do this where it's like, bro, I can't afford to put down a down payment. My credit score is not that great. But you know what? We got you, bro. Here's the crib. Like, what?
Bro, I don't know they thinking, bro. Real life, I don't know what to tell them. Like, it's the same thing I would tell my homeboy if he was trying to get with a girl like that and make her his girl. I'd be like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, you know what you're doing doesn't really sound feasible, but like, live your life. It may work out because sometimes a dude get with a girl like that and it still work out. So, hey.
God bless. That's all I'm going to say. God bless. But the other thing, we just want to summarize this whole thing for you guys. We're obviously very adamant on this because we don't think it's fair for government to just come out there. It's kind of wild that they could just do this. And also to say they're trying to help minorities out when most likely it's going to end up hurting minorities, that's just not cool either. That you already know if you're watching the show, you subscribe to the show, you like this type of content, you know where we stand on a lot of these opinions. But look at this. This is just one thing we want to say. This is U.S. housing demand, right? So if you look at the 5-year chart, it's basically hovering around the same time of 2018, 2019, right? And yes, the demand has been low. People have not been able to afford it because of the high interest rate, right? That's why this was a crazy demand during this time of 2021, 2022, early on, because interest rates were lower. And that's what they're trying to fix now, which, once again, I don't know how effective this is going to be.
To me, I don't even consider that low more than I consider it back on pace.
Back on pace, that's true.
Right, because I consider COVID high, and then now we're just normalizing.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But we would love to know your thoughts on this, right? Like, do you think it's going to work? Do you think it's not going to work? Do you think we're crazy, right? Or we're open to feedback as well. But if you like this type of content, please give us a thumbs up. If you're still watching, we appreciate you. Thank you. Like always, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Plus, hit that little notification button because we drop
2 videos a week.
And you don't want to miss them. We appreciate you. Make sure you check us out on Wednesday. But until then, peace.
Peace.
Soundstripe.